Good morning to one and all. I myself, Akash Mohanty, from the School of Mechanical Engineering, BIT University, Vellore. Today, we will discuss about the principal stresses and planes through Mohr circle method. Before we will go to this Mohr circle method, let us review whatever we have discussed in the last class. From the research papers, we have been watching that whenever a body is subjected to compressive loading, the body is fell into two parts in an inclined plane. This figure shows the practical failure of a concrete cylindrical member. This member is fell into two parts and the failure is happening in an inclined plane. In this inclined plane, there is a normal stress and shear stress is acting. If we will consider a elemental body from a system which is subjected to a complex type of loading, and if we will see in 2D figure, the body under stress condition is shown in this diagram. The stresses along the x-axis and y-axis in tensile or compressive in nature can be seen as sigma x, sigma y. The shear stress in the vertical plane where the sigma x is acting is tau xy. The shear stress in the horizontal plane is tau yx. The tau xy and tau yx are complementary shear stress, so both are of equal magnitude. If we will take one oblique plane in this body, suppose this is A and B, this plane is at angle theta degree from the vertical plane measure anticlockwise direction. The value of theta is between 0 to 90 degree. In this oblique plane AB, the normal stress is sigma n, the shear stress is tau. These two are unknown stresses in the oblique plane AB. The known stresses are sigma x, sigma y and tau xy. The unknown stresses in the oblique plane AA can be determined by using these given formulas. The sigma n is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 into cos 2 theta of oblique plane plus tau xy sin 2 theta of oblique plane. The shear stress in the oblique plane can be determined by using this formula as sigma x minus sigma y by 2 into sin 2 theta OP minus tau xy into cos theta OP. Theta OP is angle of oblique plane. In this oblique plane, the resultant stress can be determined by square root of sigma n square plus sigma y square. The average stress is sigma x plus sigma y by 2. The angle of obliquity phi can be determined as tan phi is equal to tau by sigma n. The major and minor principal stresses are sigma 1 is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus tau xy square root over. Similarly, the minor principal stress can be determined as sigma x plus sigma y by 2 minus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 square plus tau square and root over. The theta pp is the angle of the principal plane, can be determined from the formula tan 2 theta pp is equal to 2 tau xy divided by sigma x minus sigma y. The maximum shear stress can be determined by the formula as plus minus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 is equal to sigma plus minus root over of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 square plus tau xy square. The angle of the maximum shear plane can be determined by using the formula tan 2 theta star is equal to sigma x minus sigma y divided by minus 2 tau xy. These are the formula which is generally used to determine the unknown stresses with the help of known stresses. But the same thing can be determined by using a graphical method called Mohr circle. The Mohr circle, named after the Christian Automer, is a two-dimensional graphical representation of the state of stress at a point. The abscissa and the ordinate of each point on the circle are normal stresses and shear stress components respectively, acting on a particular chord plane with a unit vectors. The circumference of the circle is the locus of the points that represent the state of stress on individual planes at all their orientations. To draw this Mohr circle, we have to follow certain sign conventions. The following sign conventions should be followed while attempting to draw the Mohr circle. The tensile stress, if you are considering as positive, are taken to the right side of this origin, that is we are choosing positive x-axis. The compressive stresses considered negative are taken to the left side of this origin, that is negative x-axis. The clockwise shear stress are plotted upward, that is positive y-axis. The counterclockwise shear stress are plotted downward, that is negative y-axis. So in a given problem, there is two type of stresses are there, either it is tensile in nature or it is in shear in nature. So tensile stress can be divided in two parts. One is tensile and other is compressive. The compressive is negative in nature and tensile stress is considered as positive in nature. Similarly, the shear stress can try to rotate any plane in clockwise manner. If it is like that, the plus y-axis is dedicated to take care of this stress. The counterclockwise shear stress, which is negative in nature, is taken as the negative y-axis. And one important point you have to remember, that the angle of the oblique plane will be measured from the vertical plane in counterclockwise direction, can be considered as positive. So now we will see how to draw the Mohr circle. To draw the Mohr circle, we have to follow the following steps. First, to draw the Mohr circle on a Cartesian coordinate system, the x-axis and y-axis are identified as sigma axis, that is normal stresses and shear stresses. Thus, all the normal stresses are represented in x-axis and the shear stresses is represented in y-axis. The proper scale should be chosen to convert the stress values into the suitable unit for both the axes independently. The third step is the first 2 points of the circles are plotted as point 1, that is sigma x and tau xy, that is vertical plane BP, and the point 2 sigma y tau xy, that is horizontal plane, you can say as HP. The line connecting these 2 points is the diameter of the circle and will intersect the x-axis. This intersection point is the center of the Mohr circle. Knowing this diameter and center of the circle, the Mohr circle can be drawn. The center of the circle is located where the diameter intersects the sigma axis. It is also the average normal stress. So this video is now closed and we will continue in the part 2 of the same section. Thank you.